King Kong, Godzilla, giant kaiju. These are just some of the monsters that you'll see in movies today. Giant monster movies have been around for many years, and they're sure to get your heart pounding and the adrenaline going. Kind of like a roller coaster ride, except you're sitting at the movies. Welcome to Trending Ticket, and today we're taking a look at the top 10 giant monster movies. Make sure to stick around for our number one pick, because that one is going to surprise you. You probably haven't even seen it yet. Number 10. Pacific Rim, 2013. We start our list at number 10 with Pacific Rim. This 2013 science fiction monster movie takes place in a futuristic Earth when all of humanity is fighting against the kaiju. The kaiju are amphibious creatures created by a race of colonizing aliens called precursors who unleash the monsters into the Earth by opening a portal at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Humans must now band together to defeat the kaiju using Jaegers, which are giant robots controlled by two co-pilots whose minds are connected using a neural bridge. The protagonist is retired Jaeger pilot Raleigh Beckett, who is paired with rookie pilot Mako Mori as they symbolize mankind's last hope against the imminent destruction brought on by the colossal monsters. Pacific Rim was a global success at the box office where it grossed over $411.5 million. Viewers and critics alike praised the film and considered its visual effects to be one of the best. In addition, the action sequences had moviegoers at the edge of their seats while bringing on a hint of nostalgia. The film reached number one on the international box office 3 weeks after it was released. Overall, the film is thought to be one of the greatest giant monster movies, and in 2018, a sequel called The Pacific Rim Uprising was released. But this isn't the best giant monster movie of all time. You'll have to watch out for our number one pick. Number 9. Monsters, 2010. Counting down this list at number 9 is a giant monster movie called, well, Monsters. This 2010 science fiction film follows the events after a NASA space probe goes wrong and unleashes various alien forms across the Mexico-US border. Photojournalist Andrew Calder and his employer's daughter Samantha are stuck in Mexico and must find their way back to the United States amid suspended transport and dangerous creatures. The extraterrestrial forms in Monsters are of unknown origins and have many subspecies and types. One thing that they have in common is tentacles. Each creature has some type of tentacle somewhere on its body. They also reproduce in the same way using bioluminescent spores that look like jellyfish, and these monsters multiply rapidly. The film was praised for the creatures' designs and the chemistry between the two leads. It was included by the National Board of Review in the list of the top 10 independent movies in 2010 and was third on MoviePhone's top 10 sci-fi movies of 2010 list, making this monster movie one of the terrifying ones to be released. Number 8. A Monster Calls, 2016. Taking the number 8 spot on this list is A Monster Calls, which is based on a 2011 novel of the same name. It follows the story of 13-year-old Connor, who has a lot on his shoulders as his mother is terminally ill. Connor is also constantly having a nightmare, and one night, the yew tree near his house transforms into a giant tree with human-like features. The monster speaks to him and tells him that he will tell Connor 3 stories in their next meetings, and then Connor must tell the tree a 4th story in return. The film follows Connor's journey of faith and courage as imagination fuses with reality. The monster in the film is a yew tree that becomes a horrifying tree monster with leaves for skin and bark for teeth. It is hundreds of feet tall and isn't exactly nice to Connor, but is willing to help him. Voiced by Liam Neeson, the tree is supposed to symbolize Connor's gradual healing as he experiences losing his mother. A Monster's Call has highly favorable reviews and reaped several accolades at the Gaudi Awards and Goya Awards in Spain. Number 7. The Water Horse, Legend of the Deep, 2007. We dive deep down into Scotland at number 7 with The Water Horse, Legend of the Deep. The film follows the story of a young boy named Angus, who finds a strange egg on the shores of Loch Ness, Scotland. Angus puts the egg in his father's shed and is shocked later on to discover that the egg has hatched into a water horse, which is a legendary creature in Scottish mythology. Angus names the creature Crusoe, who grows really quickly and creates a strong bond with Angus. Trouble comes when Crusoe becomes too big to hide in the shed, and Angus must release him into the Loch Ness waters, which is under surveillance by British soldiers for incoming German U-boats. Thus, Angus must do everything that he can to protect Crusoe from harm. The film was received positively by many critics, with some comparing it to the classic holiday alien movie E.T. Extraterrestrial. Viewers also appreciated the excellent special effects and lauded the actors for their exceptional performances. Number 6. Cloverfield, 2008. Taking over at number 6 is Cloverfield. This monster movie is different from others as it uses a found footage style to follow 5 young residents of New York City as they try to survive attacks from a monster creature and a number of other smaller monsters. Using a handheld video camera, the party of 5 document their trials and attempts at survival as the city of New York disintegrates around them. The monster in Cloverfield is massive, about 25 stories tall, and was created by the film's producer J.J. Abrams. Known as Clover among production staff, it was difficult to defeat as it was immune to missiles, bombs, and artillery shells. Clover had arms that were longer than its legs and was kind of quadrupedal. And if that wasn't horrifying enough, it had parasites crawling all over its body. The parasites were the size of dogs and were an additional terror to the city as they also attacked humans with their huge mandibles. Cloverfield was named the 3rd best film of 2008 by a French film journal and was number 20 on Bloody Disgusting's list of the top 20 horror films of the decade, making it a giant monster film that you wouldn't want to miss if you haven't watched it already. Number 5. Rampage, 2018. A guerrilla film features on this list at number 5 with Rampage, which is based on a video game series that has the same name, starring Dwayne Johnson, who plays a former soldier and primatologist named Davis Okoye. The film follows Okoye, who teams up with his albino gorilla friend George to fight a wolf and crocodile who had mutated into raging creatures after being exposed to a dangerous pathogen. The unshakable bond between Okoye and George is complicated when George himself turns into a massive monster and undergoes a personality change where he becomes aggressive and violent, the complete opposite of the intelligent and friendly gorilla that he is. The mutated George is markedly larger than the normal George and has added abilities from his enhanced strength, agility, and ability to regenerate in a short amount of time. Okoye and George must work together to defeat the other 2 horrifyingly mutated creatures. Ralph the wolf develops grotesque facial features and has the ability to shoot quills from his back, as well as being able to fly due to membranes between his legs. Meanwhile, Lizzie the crocodile is bigger and stronger than both Ralph and George and has tusks on her upper jaws with massive feet and a row of large spines running down her back. The film was praised by critics for its amazing visual effects, and it was the most viewed live-action movie based on a video game on Rotten Tomatoes until Pokémon Detective Pikachu came out the next year. Number 4. Tremors, 1990. At number 4 is horror comedy film Tremors, which follows 2 repairmen named Val and Earl who moved to a small town after they got bored of their jobs. The worms in Tremors are known as graboids, which are an invertebrate species that can grow up to 30 feet long and 6 feet across its widest point, way bigger than any anaconda in the world. While they possess no eyes, graboids have large beaks that open up like a monstrous flower, with a wide upper jaw, thin lower jaw, and 2 mandibles that are 3 feet long. Imagine getting caught up in those hooks. As if that wasn't terrifying enough, these monsters also have 3 powerful tentacles that resemble snakes and grow an additional 10 feet. They are nestled inside the throat of graboids and are used to grab prey. Horrifying. Tremors was the first installment of the Tremors franchise and has 5 direct-to-TV sequels. It remains to be one of the best monster films to date, holding an 88% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 3. King Kong, 2005. The iconic, enormous gorilla King Kong takes the number 3 spot on this list. King Kong the film is a remake of the 1933 classic of the same name, which is considered by Rotten Tomatoes as the 4th greatest horror film of all time. So the 2005 film had some big shoes to fill. It follows a team of a filmmaker, his cast, and a ship crew they hired to take them to the mystifying Skull Island. The film uses special effects and motion capture to bring King Kong to life, with Andy Serkis of the Lord of the Rings fame coming on to play the title character. In addition to King Kong, Skull Island was the habitat of some of the most horrifying creatures, and the crew found themselves running away from giant dinosaurs, colossal piranhas, and huge lizards. The King Kong in the movie was a rare gorilla-like creature who lived in a lair and was the king of the jungle in Skull Island. Its height is estimated to be 18 to 25 feet tall. The film won accolades for its special effects as well as the performances of the actors. It featured on many top 10 lists in the year it was released, proving just how awesome this monster movie is. Number 2. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 2019. What's a giant monster film list without Godzilla? Coming in at number 2 is the 2019 sequel Godzilla, King of the Monsters. This ancient dinosaur-turned-monster follows the events of a 2014 movie called Godzilla. Ancient superspecies once thought to be just myths shock humanity as they rise again and fight for domination over the world and its inhabitants. Godzilla, King of the Monsters follows Monarch, which is a cryptozoological agency working on fighting against the god-sized monsters. The film is every monster movie fan's dream. In addition to Godzilla, it also features a kaiju named Rodan, and the antagonist of the movie, Monster Zero or King Ghidorah, is a three-headed prehistoric monster alien who is hell-bent on taking over the world and transforming it to its liking. Rounding up this list of titans or the giant monsters in this film's universe is the colossal sentient larva and Godzilla's ally Mothra. A sequel called Godzilla vs. Kong is set to be released in 2021, and fans of King Kong and Godzilla will be sure to love it as the two giant monsters will unite in the movie. Number 1. The Host, 2006. To complete our list, at number 1 is South Korean film The Host. This monster film follows a man named Gongdu, whose daughter is kidnapped by an amphibious creature in the lake near where they live, and documents his numerous attempts to retrieve her from the monster's grasp. The monster in The Host is the epitome of the very word. Called goemul in Korean, it is a mutated form of an amphibian that was affected by pollutants that had been dumped into the river. Its jaw was segmented with multiple mandibles and sharp teeth, and it ate its victims whole. The goemul resembled a giant monster fish with an S-shaped spine and seemed to be immune to everything, even gasoline. The Host swept awards in Korea and was the all-time box office leader in its home country when it sold more than 12.3 million tickets just 1 month after it was released, making it one of the greatest, if not the greatest, giant monster movies of all time. Which of these giant monster movies is your favorite? Did your top pick make our list? Let us know in the comments below. And if you loved this video, then head over to our other video on the 10 scariest AI robot moments. Subscribe to our channel, drop a like, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we come out with more videos like this.